How's it going, guys? I am gonna be doing this video just more of a fun video because I often talk about game prices, deals, all that good stuff, and if you watch my videos in the past, you might know that I often say and talk about Ubisoft games that it's very advantageous to wait for a deal on those games because those games get exponentially cheaper very, very quickly. Usually a month after the release of an Assassin's Creed game, you'll find it literally 50% off, and with that kind of a price differential, Ubisoft titles, I've often said, are titles that you absolutely wait for a sale on. However, it seems like it's gotten crazier and crazier with a little game called Watch Dogs Legion. Now, to be fair, Watch Dogs Legion at this point is 11 months old. It's not a recent game. It's not a game that came out a month ago, 2 months ago, but it's still less than a year old, which makes it a relatively recent release. I mean, if you look at the games that came out a year ago, whatever, COD came out a year ago, I don't even remember. Black Ops, was it Black Ops? No, it wasn't Black Ops, I don't even remember. Cold War, yes, it was Black Ops. Black Ops Cold War. That game isn't that cheap. If you look at any other game, Crash Bandicoot 4, for example, that game still has held up in price. Well, Ubisoft games have a tendency to go down in price, and Watch Dogs Legion may be the funniest example of this because while this deal is not available anymore, Gamefly was literally selling this game for $6. Yes, $6 they were selling this game for, and mind you, if you have a Gamefly subscription and you rent Watch Dogs Legion, you can still go and use the keep option to keep that game for $6, so that price is still there. They are literally valuing this game at $6. But they also know you can buy a new copy for $60, but yes, a pre-owned copy is $6 for this game. I guess people don't think that highly about that game. I mean, if you look at the Gamefly reviews, not the best reviews in the world, but $6, even by Ubisoft standards, is pretty funny. Now, what you'll find even funnier is if you go to Gamestop right now, let's look up Watch Dogs Legion's trade-in value. What would it be? Let's go to the Gamestop trade page. You can find values for anything. Watch Dogs Legion. Let's look up a PlayStation 4 copy of the game. Oh, would you look at that? If you want store credit, you'll get $17, and if you want cash, you'll get $13.60. Yes, there was a loop where you could literally get money from GameStop by doing nothing except buying a bunch of copies of Watch Dogs Legion. Now, the only caveat is I believe GameStop limits it to one copy of a game per location, so yeah, you would limit yourself doing that, but hey, pull up a couple times, trade it in, hopefully, you can end up profiting that way. But yeah, to profit before, I don't know if they changed, like, the rules and everything like that, but from what I remember, it was one copy a game because, yeah, they knew people were up to their shenanigans and people were trying to, profit off of them, and they ain't trying to get hooked up with 800 copies of Watch Dogs Legion. Look, GameStop might like Watch Dogs Legion a little bit more than us, but they ain't trying to have 800 copies in their backlog that people aren't gonna buy, so there is that little nuance that you do have to take into account. Now, this isn't something that's new. I know people that are literally bandits when it comes to this, when it comes to flipping stuff at GameStop and making a profit. Yes, it is possible. You have to be a little bit funky about it. You have to get stuff on the cheap, but if you can find stuff on the cheap, I know people that have looped out thousands of dollars from GameStop by getting stuff on the cheap, but this example of it is so egregious because the game was being sold for $6, and if you wanted store credit, bruh, you were getting $17, and then if you have a GameStop Pro subscription, you were getting $15 cash and $18.70 store credit. I imagine a bunch of people figured this out, and they ended up looping copies of Watch Dogs Legion and made a pretty penny off, selling the game to GameStop, because I'm sure, let's look up the price at GameStop. GameStop's probably selling it for at least $30, I would imagine. Let's see what the price is at GameStop for a used copy. Oh, they're actually selling it for $49.99 is what it regularly goes for, but at this particular moment, it is being discounted to $19. So actually, if you go in today, they probably will. I don't think they would give you the $13 or whatever cash because, I mean, GameStop has to make a profit. I don't know, maybe they do, but these values were present on September the 10th, which is the recording day of this video, which I find absolutely hysterical. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have ever done any GameStop looping. I mean, maybe for some people it's not worth the hassle. I definitely haven't done it in the past, but Yeah, also let me know your thoughts on Watch Dogs Legion, because this is a game that I did not play enough of Watch Dogs Legion to actually give a definitive opinion, but a bunch of my boys have played it, and they all crap on the game, which is interesting because the game does have a 70 on Metacritic, which isn't like an asinine score, but when talking to my boys, they're all like, yo, this is one of the worst games of all time, this game's trash, this game's garbage, buggy, glitchy, trash tier compared to Watch Dogs 2 even. And mind you, I liked Watch Dogs 2, so Watch Dogs Legion being $6 is, like, kind of crazy to me. I don't know. I just think some of you guys would find some humor out of this, and I've read in the comment section before that people have hated Watch Dogs Legion, which is funny to me how much people dislike this game, and that Gamefly valued it at $6. Again, it's not priced that anymore, but, yeah, people were literally getting a free shipping, mind you, free shipping on Gamefly, $6. For Watch Dogs Legion, which I think is just pretty funny. And again, with the trade-in value at GameStop being $13.60 cash, even as a regular member, and then $14.96 cash. Or if you wanted to get store credit, baby, you could like cycle these copies of Watch Dogs Legion forever and ever, and probably get yourself a PS5 with that, even with the egregious scalper prices. I want to say back in the day when I initially heard about, like, looping games at GameStop to make a profit, I believe how people would do it is they would, like, buy games at Black Friday for super cheap, or they would take advantage of, like, buy two, get one free sales, or just deals that were astronomically cheap, and maybe the first time a game going so cheap, and if you get it in the right window, oh, you can get a profit that way. And then GameStop would always do wild trade-in offers, where it was like, if you trade in 6 games, you get like 50% extra trade-in credit or whatever, and yeah, you could actually make decent money doing that. I'm not saying you can make a living trading in games at GameStop, but like, you could definitely figure out ways to get free games, you know, back in the day. I remember people doing it back in the day. Obviously, with this example of Watch Dogs Legion, you could definitely do that as well, or people did do that. And I don't know if that's like some tomfoolery people still engage in 2021. And when I knew about it, this was going back to like 2010 and 2009, so still in my teenage years. So like, yeah, I never took advantage of it, like I said, but I know people that were definitely, I guess GameStop bandits. We could call them the GameStop bandits, although GameStop's not even getting screwed. I mean, GameStop's gonna end up selling these games used for, like, you know, a egregious price, and then, you know, people that don't know better didn't know that they could get the game cheaper, whatever the case may be. You guys get how the deal works, but, yeah, it was just a funny thing that happened back in the day, more so than I think now, because I don't really hear it talked about a lot outside of this instance, of course. But nevertheless, now that I'm making this video, who knows if Gamefly is going to keep selling it for $6? I mean, nobody watching my videos from Gamefly, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But I found it hilarious. People on Reddit and social media pointed this out too. That's why I got around to it. I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, holy hell, this is actually freaking hilarious. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Just thought it would be something funny to share. And also, let me know your guys' thoughts on Watch Dogs Legion. Are my boys correct? Is this one of the worst games in recent memory? And again, I played quite a bit. I played a decent bit of it, but I never beat it, so I didn't want to give like a definitive statement on it. And I love how on the box it says over 65 E3 awards as well. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.